What's up, family? Welcome to Ask the Ma'ats,
where we challenge you to stop playing and start pushing.
This right here is my baby, my sweetie pie, my boo, Iana.
And this right here, this is my king, my protector, my gladiator. Ayize.
I like that.
He's my husband. All right, y'all. We come to you today with a very serious question. I had to think of the word, but it's just a serious question that's come in, and it really, sometimes you hear things or you get things that kind of prick at your heart, and I felt this young lady, and I need you to help me remember, all the details of this letter. But basically, this young lady is married and has been married for 7 years. She and her husband are both from Africa. Her husband grew up in a polygamous family, and she, I think her parents both divorced when she was 12. She says, needless to say, we don't have any idea of what a good relationship looks like. Those are her words.
Now, they've been here for 10 years.
Right. They've been living here in the United States for 10 years. They have 2 children, and there's a long history of cheating in the relationship. And it sounds like a long history of emotional abuse. She says that her husband says things to her like, you're useless, you're worthless, all you do is receive, receive, receive. What else? Was that it?
That's all I can remember.
He could do without her, that kind of stuff. And he says that she focuses on his cheating too much, and that she doesn't focus on the good things that he does. Mainly the fact that he is a hard worker and that he's good in terms of financial support. So her thing was, am I immature? That was her question. Am I immature? Do I need to hang in there? She says she feels so low. She feels like she's lost herself. She doesn't know what she wants to do in life. She feels useless. And she said her last sentence was, sometimes I feel like dying. That's how bad she feels. My. So that letter really stood out to us. And I'm going to let my husband go ahead and, first take a stab at some words for this young lady.
Yeah, the first thing, or one of the things that she also said, that he says, is that this is what men do.
Oh, that's right. This is what men do. Yeah.
And, I'll just say that all men do not cheat.
A lot of people say that, though, don't they?
Yeah, unfortunately. And a lot of men do cheat, but also a lot of men do not cheat.
Right.
So just because you find yourself in a situation where your husband has chosen not to remain faithful to you or committed to the relationship in such a way that you desire for him to be committed, it doesn't mean that you should adopt his belief and assume that all men handle their business that way. That ain't true. In addition to that, it seems as though he has created an atmosphere, an environment in your relationship where he's getting what it is that he wants at the expense of you. So he knows that, you are dependent upon him. And as a consequence, or as a result of that, he's doing whatever the hell he wants to do because he knows that you aren't going anywhere. And so really, I think that the challenge is for you to look inside of yourself, because you need to, really come to grips with the reality is that you're being walked on. You're being walked over. And the circumstances that you find yourself in, they don't have to be that way. You said you feel so low. There's a cry of desperation, a plea for help. And again, you have the choice. I know you have two children, but you don't have to live the life that you're living. You can choose otherwise. Now, granted, you may be dependent upon him to some degree when it comes to financial means, but you do, I'm assuming, have the capacity to be able to go out and create a new way for yourself.
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter what your physical state is.
That's a good point,
or
too.
mental state is at this point. You always have the capacity to create the reality that you want to see. I just want to connect in with you for a minute, sister, and I want you to know that we are very grateful that you felt compelled and you followed your heart in sending the letter to us, because there are many people, many women out there right now who are in the same situation, and many women who can identify with your words in terms of, just not knowing what they want to do in their lives, being in a situation where they know it's not right. You know it's not right. You know that you deserve better. You know that you deserve more. We always know. But there's a part of us, even if it's a significant part of us sometimes, that just feels stuck, just feels like there's so much surrounding us that is holding us down. Our minds are cluttered, our hearts are heavy, and we just don't feel like we can get through another day sometimes. And I just want you to know that what you sound like to me, you sound like you might be clinically depressed. You do. That's the, fancy way of saying it. Down in the dumps. And it may really be helpful to you to seek some outside professional help, because what people don't know is that when you are depressed, and it's a significant depression, there are chemical imbalances and these kinds of things that are happening inside that really make it very difficult for you to really see clearly. You can't see through the fog of the depression, and you can't get a grasp of what's possible for you in your life. You can't really hear our words and take them and apply them in a way that really translates into some, strong change in your mind and in your actions, because the depression is too thick. And so some of the supports that can be put in place for you by a trained person are things that can really help for that cloud to lift. So you're like, oh, okay, I can see clearly. It's like putting glasses on. And you literally can perceive and see things in a much more efficient way, so that you can move with a real sense of purpose in your life. That's number one. Take that to heart. Please take that to heart. Number two, I just want you to know, we've all been there. We've all been in a place where we feel so low. We feel like I keep going in the same circles. I feel like, life is just beating me down. If it's not one thing, it's another. Whether it's been in our relationship, whether it's been in our finances, whether it's been with our children, on our jobs, with our families, with our goals, with the progress that we want to make or that we're not making. We've all been there in some shape, form, or fashion. And I want you to know that low times are necessary. Valleys are necessary. If you don't have any valleys in your life, then you will not be able to truly appreciate the mountains that will inevitably come to you. The mountains, the top of the mountain, the cliffs, the heights that you will experience in your life. And I did say that will inevitably come.
As long as you keep on moving.
Inevitably come. You will not be able to appreciate those things if you don't experience the low times. So don't think that when you're in a space where you feel so overwhelmed that something, somehow, somewhere, this is just, I cannot move from this place. This is it. It's over. You said, I feel like dying. I appreciate the realness, but I want you to know the feelings are temporary. Situations are temporary. Emotions are temporary. And you have to keep that perspective and know that this too shall pass. You have the power and the ability in the midst of the struggle to press forward, to take one step at a time. And when you do that, you will get to where you need to be. But I implore you to seek some outside help, some professional help, something to help hold you accountable, so that you can move forward, because you don't deserve to be abused emotionally. You don't deserve to be in a situation where cheating is the norm and he's like, what's the deal? I mean, what? It's all good. It's not a problem. Really? No. You don't deserve to be in that kind of situation. But guess what? He can't stop it. He won't stop it if you can't recognize that you don't deserve it. People treat you the way you allow them to treat you. So I want to validate the depths in where you are right now, but I want to challenge you to step it up and do better for yourself. When you do better for yourself, everything else outside of you matches up with that. But the only way you can do that, my dear, is to stop playing and start pushing.